darragh, ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
It is the week of the holiday of the year. I don't know. Is Christmas everyone's favorite holiday?
I mean, I explained this to you last night. It is not mine because gifts give me anxiety. So I prefer Thanksgiving because it's Christmas with no gifts.
Oh, I like that definition. Merry Christmas, confidants. Christmas is only a few days away. If you don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you are celebrating. We hope it was joyful and bright in this dark time where I'm finding a little light in my life during this pandemic is with my best friend in the whole world, my soulmate until I die, Lacey Marie Gutekunst Keen Madden. Welcome, finally, to the podcast. Confidently Insecure, where we're absolutely sure we don't know everything. And there is no better episode, I think, to round out the year with than with my best fucking friend who is pregnant.
Yeah. It's funny to do it like this because I've told people, but then I forget who I've told. And I'm not a person that's going to
You're not very public.
I'm not very public. I'm sure maybe some of you have gone to my Instagrams. You're like, oh, this is Kelsey's friend. And then you go there and you're like, she's boring. So
What?
Well, because every time we take a photo together, I'll randomly jump up 200 people following me. And I'm
confidant.
it's because of
nice.
Kelsey. But then they go away because they're you're boring.
You're boring as shit on social media, but boy, are you fun in real life. Because I wouldn't be friends with a boring ass person. This is just so crazy. Okay, let me just take a step back and address the scene. First of all, do not adjust your screens. I have dyed half of my hair purple.
That's correct. We did it last night.
Second of all, it is Christmassy as fuck right now. We are sitting in your cabin, your Lincoln log, pine cedar cabin in the middle of the fucking woods, nowhere, upstate New York Catskills, just tons of snow. Our RV is parked outside. This is why we did the whole road trip. The whole road trip was to come here to this new house and watch you grow a baby in your belly.
Yeah.
And we have, I thought this was a genius decorating idea. We put bows, those little sticky bows that you put on presents.
When we say we,
I mean me.
That's Kelsey.
I came into Lacey's cabin, which she just moved into 3 weeks ago.
I've done nothing.
And I just took the fuck over. And I put these bows on the wall. And then on top of the screen, you can see Lacey's real-time live growing baby in this ultrasound sonogram. What's the difference?
I don't know.
Great. You are 4 months pregnant, 4.5, and I drove all the way across the country with Jared because I would never fucking miss this for the world. And I get to reveal, even though we both believe gender is a spectrum, we really, truly don't give a fuck. I get to reveal the gender of your baby to you and your husband on Christmas morning.
I mean, is it better to say sex?
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's, gender.
It's your biological sex.
It's okay, what tools was this child born with?
What fucking skin flaps, really?
Yeah.
Also, you have reindeer antlers on your head, and I've got a tiny Christmas lights blinking necklace on. But seriously, Lacey, we've been best friends, for 10 years. We have gone through the highest highs of our lives and the lowest lows of our lives together. And we didn't get to see each other for almost over a year because of quarantine. That's the longest we've gone without seeing each other.
Yeah.
And before I saw you, when I saw you back in October for Jared's 30th birthday last year, you were like, no way am I taking my IUD out. I got so much left to do. Oh my God, the city, da-da-da. Now, here we are in your bought home, Lincoln log cabin home, hoogie as fuck, and you're pregnant. Lacey, tell us how we got here.
Ooh, okay. So I mean, to be honest, I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I don't know. So just as a disclaimer, these are two people that have ADD. So, so
like severe ADHD on my part.
this
But I took my Adderall today.
I am not prescribed anything because I
You
just
should be.
Listen, I probably should be, but I like my ADD. Sometimes it gives me lots of creativity.
So all of that to say,
Yes, going back to the original statement.
how did our lives become so different?
Yeah.
We went from like party,
Yeah. Okay.
young, vibrant, bushy-eyed,
I mean,
sparkly-tailed.
I don't think either one of us was ever naive, which
No.
means bushy-tailed.
Okay, fair. Yeah, you're from Yonkers.
I am from Yonkers.
You're a bad
from
bitch.
New York. Okay, so I sort of feel like my husband and I we're extremely ambitious people.
Mm-hmm. He has a big boy job at a big boy news
We're
company.
not going to talk about it.
We're not, but he's big boy time.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about
No.
it. He hates my job.
He does not. He loves you.
He loves me and loves my job, but hates it for him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Anyway, what the fuck?
Sorry, I got you off track already.
Okay, you guys are gonna kill me. Okay, so we're ambitious. We're very outgoing.
Young, hot.
We live with roommates because we enjoy it,
In the
not
city.
because we have to.
Mm-hmm.
We travel a lot. We're all over the place all the time. We go out after. I mean, we never cook in the
You're
city.
an entrepreneur. You've built a company and
Yeah.
then sold it, and then now you kind of just like do whatever the fuck you want in other job positions.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. So
you guys have accomplished a lot.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I am proud of myself. But
Patting you on the back.
thank you.
I'm matching onesies.
But I think when quarantine happened and it really hit New York City first
Hard.
I was
terrified for you.
we
guys.
literally were in our house for at least 8 weeks, like in our tiny apartment, getting very drunk every night.
Yeah, seriously. We would FaceTime and she would call me and like the phone would
Hammered,
be
just
this close
hammered.
to your face and you would be so red and glossy and I'd be like,
Listen,
should I be worried?
well, okay, so 2 out of the 4 of us living in our apartment in New York City were furloughed. I had nothing to do.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do.
You were collecting that check, honey.
I was bored.
Yeah.
And felt
Drunk.
bad for myself because I was furloughed. But all in all, like I think it really like opened. It made us take a deep breath
Yes.
and pause and really look at our lives. And then in May, we rented a house upstate in the Catskills.
Kind of what everyone did, right?
Yeah,
To flee New York City.
Sure. I mean, for us more so, I wasn't like, oh, flying New York City, like it sucks. Like I love New York.
No, it sucks. It was Corona. It was scary.
It was scary. But it was more like my family's been going to this place for,
Right. You grew up here.
I grew up doing summers here and I was like, oh, we have an opportunity to spend a summer here. When was the last time I was able to do that? I don't know, when I was 19, like how fun. So we came up here and it was like, oh, we reoriented our lives in a different way. And I think that's happened to a lot of people. And this thought of being able to buy a house, which was like
crazy.
We're going to put this off and put this off and put this off. No,
Pipe
we
dream.
are not moving out of New York City. We will never move out of New York City.
New York for life, dog.
But
you will part-time live in Los Angeles with me eventually. It will happen.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it allowed us to be able to purchase a house, and it allowed us to think about our lives, I don't know, 5 months in advance, 6 months in advance, a year in advance. And, we talked about having kids and wanting to have kids.
You've always wanted kids.
Yeah.
And you just didn't know when.
And I didn't want to be an old parent. And listen, if you're an old parent, good on you. That just wasn't for me. I want to be able to my
You're
kid.
30.
Yeah, I'm 30. 31, actually.
What? Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
you're
a year older than you.
I just think we're like identical twins. Like I was telling your husband yesterday on the walk that I was like, yeah, I forget that Lacey's always wanted to be a mom. Because I think growing up, like when we were partying and in school, it was like, we don't want kids, do we? And you'd be like, yes, I do. I'd be like, no, you don't. Let's do this keg.
Yeah, I don't know.
I kind of drug you along into the scene maybe a little bit deeper than you would have if you were not my friend.
I mean, listen,
Well,
like,
you party.
I'm definitely not.
You party.
I'm not bushy tailed.
No, but we are bushy because we don't shave our pussies anymore. Fuck the patriarchy.
Yeah,
Right now I have one
it's
full leg
annoying
of
to
hair
reach.
and one completely shaved
It
leg.
scares me every night.
Guys, you know I've been growing out my body hair for like most of quarantine just because like it feels so amazing. And then because we've been doing this cross country trip and I've been wearing a lot of pants because it's snowing, my leg hair started to get caught. So when I got to Lacey's apartment, cabin in the woods, I was like, all right, it's time. And I shaved one leg in the shower and then I sat there for like 5 minutes being like, I don't want to lose my leg hair. And
So now she has
yeah.
literally one clean leg and one leg that looks like a 14-year-old boy.
And then I have this purple hair and my armpits are like longer than my boyfriend. So here we are in the woods. But like I totally think what you did is something you and your hubby both needed because you
100%.
both are work-a-fucking-holics. And in New York, there is zero fucking downtime to relax. It's like get
100%.
up, commute, find a way to eat breakfast, fucking talk to people in the office, work.
Dude, the fact that we saved
Money
enough money for a down payment on a house
during quarantine.
is
goes
like,
to show
what the hell was
how
I
much
spending?
you spent. Postmates, breakfast. I mean, I don't know that Jared and I are really saving because obviously we bought Jamie the RV and we've done like cross country stuff and that's like adventure money, which is all going towards work, hopefully. But you guys really hunkered down.
Yeah.
And I think that's because COVID kind of forced it on you guys. And I don't think this would have happened, period,
No.
at all, underlined, if COVID wouldn't have happened.
No.
Right now.
And like,
Maybe another couple years.
here's like, what do I want to say? That like, A, we're not like crazy rich. B,
I thought you were
like,
going to say
we
Crazy
under-
Rich Asians. I don't know why, because that's one of my
no.
favorite book series. Anyways.
B, like, we obviously, I mean, like COVID has affected people in like the worst fucking ways. And you know, our roommate works on Broadway and so many of my friends work in that industry and it's been fucking horrible.
Yeah.
If we can go back, I would never want this to have happened.
Right.
You know, something that the company that I work for, they always say like what a good, now I'm going to forget the phrase.
You have pregnancy brain like
I
crazy,
really
by the
do.
way.
I
didn't know
can't
it was a
remember
thing.
anything.
That's why I wanted to come here, though, because I'm never going to get to experience a pregnancy this intimate unless I decide one day, I think. Because I also can't count on my sister, and she lives cross country. And so, like, that's why I was like, I need to come here and be like, I will rub your feet. I will fucking help you get the hair off your armpits
And
or
she
your
straight
belly.
up has. Like, it, yeah, I mean.
I'm like, here are all my crystals. Here's my essential oils. Like, this has been so great for me because I love making it about me. Obviously, like this really feels like a big fucking deal to me. And I wonder if there's any confidants out there that can relate to like the first time your best friend had such a major life change. Like I met you when you and your husband just had started dating.
Yeah.
So I got to see that blossom. So when it was your wedding, I was like, yeah, this is supposed to happen. I love these two people. They should be together and married. Now I'm like, I'm freaking out about our relationship post bebe. Not freaking out in a bad way. Just like,
Yeah.
oh my God, everything's gonna be different now.
I hate that. But yeah.
Why? Why do you hate it?
I don't know because
You don't want it to be that dramatic?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, listen, like I've, as you said, like I've wanted kids, but it wasn't, I'm not a person that's like, that is my life goal.
No.
And that is my
Identity.
Not at all.
You're
and
gonna be a very
and
cool
I don't
mom.
want it to be my identity. And it's weird because now that I'm like starting to show, I feel like people are like, oh, that's a pregnant person. And I'm like, okay, great.
We keep joking that
Thank
you're
you.
like, you know, we'll be in the car and we'll be like, oh, wow, this esteemed worker, this famous DJ, this content creator, and a baby holder. Like, we fuck with you because it seems like this is such a
But that's what the world fucking looks at us like.
Yeah, well, this is a big deal. Like, you're creating a human, not to mention I've watched you work every single day, 9 to fucking 9 sometimes, and I've seen the way that you still have the same enthusiasm and energy in your job, and then you crash, and I'm like, oh, I'm so pissed that it is that stereotype of, like, the working boss woman who can do it all and literally make life, and I'm, like, furious that I think I'm watching just like any little thing that you struggle with the pregnancy makes me furious for like society. Like we should give women 9 months off, or we should give pregnant people 9 months off.
I had such a horrible first trimester. And I could have not gone to work.
No.
Like if I had to get on the subway every day and go into an office, it would have taken me like 2 hours to get to work just because I would have barfed from the array of smells.
And people do that.
People do that.
Pre-COVID, that was 100%. How pregnant people did things.
Like I was very fortunate that I could do, you know, like sprint work and then be like, okay, I have 10 minutes. I'm going to go lay in my bed. Yeah. I'm going to set a timer. And then I literally like, you know, my mom came one time and I was laying on the floor of the kitchen and I was like, what time is it? She was like 12:45 and I was like, no, exact time. She was like 12:41. I was like, great. Tell me when it's 12:44. She was like, okay,
that is real.
It's 12:44. And I was like, okay. And I just like popped up and like got on my computer and was like, hello, everybody. Like back on my meeting. And she's like, you're insane. I was like, I don't have a choice.
I want to back up a little bit because I do want to talk about how awful your first trimester was, because you called me and texted me once and you were like, if this is how it is for the rest of this, I'm never having another kid.
No.
So when did you find out? Because I don't think I ever got the story of like, you finding out you were pregnant.
Sure. So I got my...
You guys were trying.
Yeah, so I got my IUD out on my 31st birthday. It just worked out that way. And I was
June 26th.
Yes. But
See,
I was like, I feel like I'm old. I'm going to like the doctor on my birthday and I don't care. I don't care.
But that's compound COVID.
Yeah, I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
This works for me.
Yeah.
And got the IUD out and was very much just like, whatever. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, we'll figure it out. And I was pregnant in August. And I was like, fuck.
Jesus. Thank God you had that IUD in this whole time.
I know. Okay, so I thought like I must have been infertile because the amount of times I fucked up my birth control because I'm horrible at taking pills, which is why I switched to an IUD. If you are bad at taking medication...
But we've talked about IUDs on this podcast a lot because
get an IUD.
But I can't get one because of my chronic yeast infections, and they were like,
yeah, but you're good at
kind.
taking pills.
That's true. I have to take a lot of pills every day.
She literally, I was looking at her thing, and I was like, I think one of the reasons why I haven't pushed to get medication for my ADD is because I'm like, I'm gonna fuck this up.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna remember, and then it's gonna fuck up my brain.
You're not even remember
more.
taking prenatal shit.
I forget all the time to take my prenatal vitamins. Don't tell my doctor. I tell her that I take them.
She's not gonna watch this.
Just like every other person.
You got pregnant, and like, were you peeing on sticks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you know what is fucking dumb?
What?
How expensive pregnancy tests are.
Get them from the dollar store.
No. Get them on Amazon. I mean,
in bulk. Don't buy from Amazon, but also they're like these little paper strips.
Yeah. And they're like literally for 40 of them, it's like $8.
See, that's the way to do it. You don't need the big old stick thing with the hand holder and the thumbprint thing.
You don't. Those are like they're $30 for a 2-pack, which means they're $15 per thing.
It's convenience.
Right, but if you're stressed and you like are someone that is worried about and watching your budget, fuck, I literally was floored. I was like, no.
Why are we making this worse for people already with pregnant people?
It's ridiculous. So go get the ones on Amazon for $8.
Okay, so you have the little sticks.
So I have the little sticks.
How often are you testing a pee-pee?
I was like, I don't know, like maybe 3 days before my period, I was like, let me see, I'll pee on this thing. And the cool thing about those things are it's like pink. There's like a pink strip that's like the what's the word for?
I don't know. Pregnancy brain.
No, I know
we need like a little sound for when it happens. And
wanna
this is where
call
the
it the
confidants
hypothesis.
guess what word Lacey's trying to come up
Oh my God.
with. It's the, what are you trying to say that it does?
It's the constant.
Okay.
It's the constant.
Thank
so
you.
you know that you're looking at it being like, that's what the other thing should look like.
Okay.
Okay. Then it's like you don't pee on it.
You put it in a cup
You
of
put
your
it in a
piss.
cup
Uh-huh.
and then you take it out and you let it sit.
Uh-huh.
And then the color of the other line could either be very faint or it could be very dark. And that just depends on how much HCG you have in your pee.
Oh, no, I don't understand
It's
that.
a hormone. It's a pregnancy
HCG?
hormone. Yeah, it's a
What does it
pregnancy
stand
hormone.
for?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not a scientist.
I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know we had hormones in our piss.
Yeah. So
is that what tells you you're pregnant? Is
yes.
the hormones change?
Yes.
Whoa, that seems so obvious.
But the cool thing is that it's like, if it's really faint, it still means you're pregnant. It just means you just don't have a lot of that hormone. So it just means you're a little bit pregnant.
So like for sure when you see that color, you're like, oh
Yes.
shit, I'm pregnant. So
Yes.
did you see a faint line first?
Yes,
And you
very,
weren't that
very, very
excited?
faint. And I was like, and I like walked. Well, first off, I took one on a Thursday.
Okay.
And my very good friend from growing up, she was getting COVID married, and I was in the wedding party, so it was a very small little wedding.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm not pregnant, right? So I'm going to go to this wedding, and I'm going to drink,
Nice.
right? Because I'm not pregnant, and it's only like been the 2nd month, so
There's no way.
fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink.
Mm-hmm.
So I drank on the weekend, came back on Monday, and was like, I still don't have my period. I'm going to pee on another stick.
Mm-hmm. And guess what?
I was pregnant.
Oh shit! But you know what?
But,
We've
like,
had this
also-
conversation 1,000 times. You're very Italian, and like we're the only country in the world that doesn't let pregnant people drink during their pregnancy.
Yes, and our mortality rate is not great. So
Drink on your pregnancy. You heard it from these two doctors.
Okay, that is
I am a doctor.
That is definitely not what
Lacey
I'm
is
saying.
Also a gynecologist,
Definitely not what I'm saying.
OBGYN pregnancy doctor.
you can drink
have red
though.
wine,
However,
and it's only
you
red wine.
can drink. No, you can have anything.
What? You can have hard liquor?
Yes.
No.
Yes, you
No.
can. Yes, you can. As
Mm.
long as it is one. It's like you can have one drink,
Mm-hmm.
and you can have up to 4 drinks a week. I know,
That's
it's kinda
that-
crazy.
That does seem crazy because that seems just like an average person's drinking
Yeah.
habit. If you're just like a light drinker.
Yeah, but that's one drink scientifically. It's not like one drink for me being like, I don't know, half a bottle of wine. But,
Do you feel tipsy though when you drink still? Because you've lowered your tolerance, obviously.
if I have one glass of wine,
You happy?
no, I don't really feel anything.
Oh.
I honestly, like, it takes me so long to drink it now, and I'm like kind of not interested.
I've been doing that too. I've been
Like,
getting
not
these,
interested
you
in
know,
it.
sober Sally over here. Been getting non-alcoholic beers because like I do enjoy the taste and I do think it's fun to like sit around and play Catan with everyone else that's drinking. And I found myself only having like 3 sips, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So you find out you're pregnant.
Uh-huh.
How do you tell your hubby?
I walk out of the bathroom and I go,
Can you look at this?
I think I'm pregnant. And he was like, what? I was like, I think
It's
I'm
so
pregnant.
early.
He was like, are you pregnant or are you not? I was like, I think.
oh
and
my
then,
God.
And then I looked it up and it was like, if you have any pink line, like you
you're
are pregnant. So like, okay. So then like for that week, I just for funsies,
How did he react?
he was like, oh.
He's a very logical, like not
we were
too
both-
emotional man.
Listen, God, this is one of those things, being pregnant, that I think makes people feel like shit if you are like not feeling this way.
No.
Or
We don't
you just
condone that
feel-
stereotypical behavior.
Yeah, like, dude, if you're like, oh, I have mixed feelings about this thing, like,
It's okay. You
who
should.
cares? Like, you should not have to tell your significant other or anyone important in your life, and that person automatically cries, or you automatically cry. You're not
No.
like, oh my God. It's like, if you're just like, wow, that's cool. Like,
And
I
you
don't
know what
know.
else is like, I heard this on TikTok and I thought this was a really good thing. You don't have to be excited or happy when you find out or during the pregnancy or even after birth. Like my mom has always said, you know that feeling when people say you're pregnant and the first time you look at your baby, you feel love that you've never felt before and the whole world opens up and you're like, oh my God, I didn't know love till now. I never felt that. And I was like, wow, cool. Thanks, Mom. But also the decision to become pregnant should be 100%.
Yes.
Anything but 100% should not be like if you're choosing. I'm not talking about like if it just happens and it's just
Right.
But if you're like, I don't know if I want a kid, don't have a kid.
You have time. You have so much time. So the other thing that really was a weird thing people have been saying to me, and I'm like, what? Is like, especially when I got my first ultrasound, like this is like the first one, they were like, oh my God, when you saw that baby, were you just not immediately in love? I was like,
bitch, no, it looks like a
this
stack
child
of bones.
is making me barf all the time.
I
feel like shit all the time.
I hate it.
And it, I don't know. I wasn't showing yet. I was like, I understand intellectually that there is a child inside of me, but I don't feel anything towards
You're starting
this thing.
to feel the reality though now that you're showing.
Now I am, and definitely like I feel like I'm like, oh, it's fun. Like now I have a little belly, and like I'm definitely feeling more of a connection.
But you're not like, I know this thing and I feel.
No,
it's like
no,
biologically it's like cells and shit.
And I also like, I know I'm going to love my child, and I am a very loving person. I'm a Cancer, so I feel very
emotional.
deeply.
We have our matching tattoos.
I feel very deeply, and I'm very much a mama bear. And anyone that's close with me knows that I would kill somebody if you like fuck with the people that I love.
Totally loyal.
But I'm also a human, and I'm also a person just because I'm a mother.
Ooh.
And that's been like eye-opening to me.
I've always thought you were going to be a great mom because this is a fun story. When we lived together, we've lived together like 100,000 times in different ways. Like once your husband, I always say your husband lived with us instead of we were like a throuple. I was like, he moved in with us as a couple. When we used to live together in college and I would get fucking shit tankered, but you wouldn't go out. You would like fall asleep first and I'd go out and get shit tankered. I'd come home and I would wake you up and I would be like, will you sit with me while I throw up?
And I would.
And you would wake up and you would come to the bathroom with me and you would like be asleep with your eyes closed and you would just like pat my back. And you would just be like, yeah, get it out. And then you'd go back to sleep. And I was always like, she's going to be a really good mom. Because she
so
really
my mom
takes
was. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. You have a fun mom too, like mine. Like not traditional, I don't think.
No.
And that's informed how you are going to be a mom 100%.
Yeah.
You've already bought like baby books that's like anti-racist baby.
Oh,
modern liberal woman.
A is for activists and feminist baby. Don't know if it's if it's the sex is male or female.
It's going to read the same
It's going to read a feminist baby book.
We've done all like gender neutral clothes, not because we're not trying to give away the sex, but like just because you also are not the type of mom that's like,
okay,
first of all, it's going to be blue.
Baby clothes
Dumb.
Should be gender neutral.
Yeah.
They're the same body type.
Yeah.
Who cares?
And it's expensive, but I get it when people like we've talked about this. I don't think there's anything cuter in the world than a tiny baby toddler in ski clothes and winter clothes and a giant poofy fucking marshmallow jacket.
Oh, 100%.
That is my favorite thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. And it's been very hard now for me whenever I go anywhere to not immediately go to a baby section. Never been in a baby section in my fucking life. And I'm just like, this, that, this, And then I'm like, oh, wait, like it grows so fast. It's so wasteful to get like these very 100%. Specific, stupid things.
People have been, I have a lot of family members and they're like, do you need a bassinet? Do you need this thing? Do you need it? And I'm like, yeah, I'll take it.
No one should have to buy anything for a baby. Everything should be hand-me-downed from the good of people.
Because do you know how much it's going to cost us to just have a baby?
Like $60,000.
And this is not, we are literally choosing not to have our baby in New York City and have it up here because we have our house and we're very fortunate for that. And
how much?
With insurance, and we have very good insurance, it's probably going to cost us a little under $10,000.
Ooh.
Because every time I go, I have to go to the doctor once a month.
I get to go to the ultrasound this week.
She does.
Right before Christmas.
I have to go to the doctor once a month. And this is barring I don't have any problems.
Yeah.
Like I have to go to the doctor once a month. That does not include ultrasounds, blood work, any of that kind of shit. So every time we go, we get a bill for somewhere around $150 to $250. Then you have to think about
the test,
staying in the hospital,
the overnight.
Oh yeah.
All the medication they're gonna use.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna get a bill after this baby's born for like $4,000.
And what do? You have to pay it?
Yeah. And if you don't pay it, they send you to collections. It's fucking gross.
It's almost like we treat childbirth as like a luxury, and then we also have the like the way we treat
women
and women of color like trash.
Oh, and I was telling you that you know, like working for startups and if you are an hourly worker, if you're this like whatever, and you don't have maternity leave, which I have a little bit, but I have the bare minimum.
This is fucked up.
Yeah.
Listen to this shit.
So I get the bare minimum of maternity leave, which is 6 weeks if you have a natural birth.
Listen to this.
Meaning it comes out of your vagina.
You get 6 weeks.
You get 6 weeks.
But
if you have a C-section, you get 8 weeks, I believe.
What the fuck?
Well, because C-sections are more, and you literally have a scar.
You don't know that birth wasn't more intense coming out the push. They have to cut it. You have stitches. Some people have had C-sections before where it's a lot easier. I understand it's a more intense surgery and the healing definitely takes longer. But that doesn't mean the birth wasn't more or as traumatic, because that's what birth is. It is fucking trauma.
And they don't give a shit about your mental health.
Nope.
That has nothing to do with it.
They sure don't when you have a baby.
No.
They don't care about your mind.
Then
they just want you to push and get the fuck out of the room.
Pretty much, which is why they push a lot of women to do C-sections. But then you can, we're fortunate to live in New York. Dope New York, fucking awesome.
NYC
has
baby.
New York family leave because they're amazing.
What does that
Thank
mean?
you, New York. So not all states have that. So New York family leave is basically we will help you after those 8 weeks. You can get payment help. Like you can, you basically can like be on like almost like unemployment. Like you get it's like New York family. You get paid family leave,
and you can do that anywhere in New York.
I don't know. I'm not a fucking politician.
Well,
but look it up. But
look it up. Google
it also, New York family leave does not only pertain to pregnant people. It also pertains to
the partner.
Pertains to the partner, but it also is my parent is very sick and I need to help them. So I need family leave.
I see. Okay, we had that at BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
It was kind of like not bereavement, but it was like
but that's through your company. This is through the state, meaning that
so your company can't argue with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
Yeah. Anyway,
why don't they give us a fucking pamphlet? Like on the way out of the hospital, they're like, "Here's your big pamphlet with all the resources and free shit."
Oh,
they don't Facebook groups.
They don't have that. And then after New York family leave, you can go on. Disability.
What the fuck?
Disability.
They're saying that having a child is a disability.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about disability to make comment on that, but I feel like it sounds fucked up.
I'm
like, yes, children are a liability, but like a disability feels like the wrong word.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. It just is weird for women.
I guess like the I'm sure the burning question that confidants want to know is, are you scared of pushing a human out of your pussy?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think about it because I'm like, what is the point of thinking about this?
Yeah.
It's going to happen anyway. I'm probably going to go into like some weird blackout, like
outside of your body,
outside of my body state.
Not remember much.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like in my head, like the only thing I could think of that is close to it is when like you get super, super, super sick and you're like shitting out your butt and throwing up and like you're laying on the floor and you like, it's like, do you kind of remember that the next day?
No, I just
like
remember the pain.
Yeah. But it's like, you don't really, really, really remember what it feels like. That's sort of what I'm thinking. I'm an idiot, and it's
Well,
probably going to be nothing like that.
No,
but
you don't know. You can't predict. And I like that you don't waste your time getting anxiety about it because you are like me, and I fucking see it.
would.
It's like you ruminate, bitch, real hard, and you always go worst case scenario in your brain pretty much every
100%.
time any decision ever comes up in your life. And I'm proud of you for making that boundary of like, there's no point right now in worrying about that because it will be what it will be.
And who knows where we're going to be with COVID still then. And, you know, a very good friend of mine, I won't say her name because I don't know if she cares or not, but she had a baby during this time and went in for an appointment, and they were like, oh, your blood pressure is very high and you need to go to the emergency room right now. You're going to have this baby. And she was with her mom. And her mother could not go to the hospital with her because they only allow one person in. And if she brought her mom to the emergency room, her husband couldn't come. So she had to go by herself to the emergency room while her husband got all of their insurance cards and the baby bag and all that kind of shit and meet her there. While nurses and doctors screamed at her to calm down because her blood pressure was so high that she was hysterically crying. And she said to me, she's like, I have like PTSD from that.
People don't talk about that enough, about the act of childbirth actually being a trauma, and they're 100% like they have postpartum, and that's finally just getting a little bit of light shut on.
It's the miracle of birth, Kelsey. You should be so happy.
But aren't we kind of changing it? Are we? I feel like the doctors are still very old, but like the pregnant people are kind of like, this is fucked up.
Yeah, 100%.
That is crazy
100%.
that you should be like grateful. And the doctor literally comes in like 2 seconds before it slides out. And then it's like, okay, I did it. Bye.
Also, they do it all the time. And
yes.
And you have to understand that like, it's like, I am like,
not
I
special.
understand this. Right. I'm not fucking special. It's like, it's special to you. It's special to you, but it's not special to them. Right. And that's fine. That's their fucking job. They are there to make you not die. Yeah. Like they're there to make you and the child not die. They do not care about your feelings, which is fine.
Which is fine. The doctor shouldn't, but I feel like there should be a system implemented to care afterwards. And I feel like the postpartum
doulas, midwives, unfortunately, those are fucking expensive.
Your doula and midwife. I will be it for free.
I love you, but you are not equipped.
I have so many crystals. Okay, I am fully equipped.
No,
and
that
we've talked about like your delivery room, like if we're still in COVID where it's like a situation where you can only have one person, like obviously it's going to be your husband. But if you're allowed to have multiple people, you still only want it to be your husband.
Yeah.
What about me? Please.
I think I just answered your question.
Can I please come? I've never seen a baby be born.
No.
I want to see a baby be born. Can someone invite me to their baby borning?
I'm sure someone that listens to you will allow that.
I would 100% if your hospital would allow.
Kelsey already also asked me, she was like, well, I'll come and I'll video it. I'm like, I don't need that.
You won't even know I'm there. Like I'll hide behind the curtains and I'll make a beautiful little montage video for you guys to remember.
You are a lot of things. Someone who can hide and be quiet is not one of them.
I would literally be pushing your husband out of the way. Like, let me do this like I do right now.
You're supposed to be behind that curtain.
Yeah, you
couldn't stay there.
I don't know. I will, like, I'll be as close as you will allow. And if that means like waiting until it is born, it is here, you guys are settled, and then we can come back and we'll drive cross country or whatever. Like,
okay, I have a question.
Okay.
What is like the age range of people that listen to your podcast?
15 to 30.
Okay.
Well, and it's really heavy in like the late 20s.
Okay.
Like 27 is like hot. 29 actually is the biggest number age.
In like
shout out to all the
cities or in not cities or
mostly big metropolis cities in like Canada, UK, and America. New York is a big one.
Hi,
New York, which makes me feel very fucking cool.
You're not.
I know. Like California, I'm like, okay, we're cool. We got time to listen to podcasts. But to listen to a podcast is a choice in the city, you know?
I mean, you're on subways all the time.
What? What do you mean?
You're on the subway all the time.
Oh, that's really cool. That makes me feel very
Yeah.
cool. If you're ever listening to this on the subway, please take a picture. I will post it on our grid.
Yeah, I listen to it on the subway.
I can't believe you listen to my podcast. But
Although I haven't been on the subway since fucking March, which is
you
weird.
did tell me that you listen because it helps you keep up with my life.
It does.
But then since COVID,
which is kind of
all podcast numbers have dropped. My company was like, "Hey, people, don't freak out
because people aren't in their car. Nobody's traveling, and nobody's traveling,
and there's no time. And then when they're on the weekend, they're like, "I want to do something relaxing, not
Yeah.
fucking." I get it, but please
I
listen more.
used to religiously. I mean,
Yeah,
shout
get a
out my
routine.
faves. Love Scam Goddess.
Scam
Love-
Goddess. Lacey was the other Lacey. We were DMing
yeah.
once. Still want her on here. That would be
Yeah,
amazing.
I want her on here.
I want her to do a host out history episode with Jasmine, which we haven't done in a hot minute. Anyway,
And
so
you
you
should
haven't.
scammer.
Huh?
A scammer.
Oh yeah. Who would I do?
A hoe. A scam a hoe.
Well, I feel like all of our hosts out histories are scammers. Anyway, okay.
True.
So you told me you were pregnant over FaceTime.
Yes.
I actually
had to tell
this,
everybody
I had
over
this-
FaceTime. I had no fucking choice.
Right. Your
There was
family.
no like fun. I mean, that was a weird thing with COVID that it's like normally I would wait until
Yeah.
I saw that person because generally I'm seeing all of my important
Right,
people
all the time.
within a month or two.
But
So
it
I'd
would have
wait.
been that way with me no matter
But it was
what.
like, I guess I'll do this on FaceTime.
And
Which is weird because I think we didn't get.
you didn't get any reactions from people.
I said you were like the person who reacted
The biggest.
The biggest.
because I had this weird witchy feeling, and I had it the actual night that you found out, I think.
Weird.
Yeah, and I was waited because I was like, oh, it's late, and I'll text her tomorrow. And I literally texted her, like, how's that baby making going? And, like, right after I texted that, you FaceTimed me, and you just had a pregnancy test, like, up on the thing. And I was like, what is that? And you were like, and I was like, is that a pregnancy test? And you're like, I'm pregnant. And I was like, no, I think I said,
my
no,
God.
you're fucking not, like 75
Yeah.
times. I get chills even just thinking about it because that was, again, like I felt like it was my life. Even though we're so far apart from
Yeah.
each other, like I still like, know about your life and care about your life. And like, again, like I immediately went to thinking of like how my life is going to be so much more fulfilled.
You know what I think is weird? And I wonder if you feel this way. It's like you are such a public person that I pretty much know what's going on in your life
At all times.
At all times.
Yeah, you can find out on Instagram.
And like I am not.
No.
Is that weird to you? Like you don't like it's like
No.
I could today. It's like I could on any given day be like, I wonder what Kelsey's doing today.
Yeah.
And like find that out.
No, but I keep up with you. I feel like I feel like COVID actually.
You do keep up with me. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that it's like it's not like an immediate like
No.
let me just see what Lacey's doing.
No, you know what's funny is because I do have a lot of friends that are in the industry that are like
Right.
very, very popular.
Yeah.
But like I feel like if some emergency happened or something crazy happened,
Sure.
you would be the first person I call.
Oh yeah.
We
Well, that's. I mean, it's clear. Things you see online are not reality.
right.
Duh.
The fact that we have to say that.
yeah. So like, I am getting a very tip at the iceberg
Oh yeah.
view of your life.
Yeah,
like
because
that
there's
doesn't mean
always
that.
deeper
Yeah.
shit going on. But I feel like
Yeah.
I know you're deeper shit because we text. And COVID, I
Yes.
think, brought us closer with
Yeah.
texting. And I think TikTok brought us closer with texting.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I thought TikTok was only tweens dancing.
no.
And then I found
showed her a whole
and
new
then I
world.
found my people.
and your
And I
dog
was like, oh,
people and
oh.
you're welcome. I talk about TikTok every episode. I don't know what to tell you guys. Please go.
I know.
Please go to my TikTok and follow me. I would like that to be my.
I
number one
also have a
platform.
TikTok.
What is it?
Don't follow me.
You don't post anything. You posted one TikTok and it was a reaction to mine.
I don't know how to use TikTok. Okay.
You're a lurker. Do you?
I'm a lurker. Yeah.
I thought what you said the other night was so funny about like you and your husband talked about like when your baby is older and you have to have the sex talk. It'll
Yes.
be like you telling them the general.
Yes.
idea.
Like, are you sexually active? This
Mm-hmm.
is what's safe. This is what you should use. These are resources. Porn is fine. Don't get too weird into it because that could fuck up your view of sex.
People
Um,
and women.
Yeah, and women, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, here's cool porn stuff.
Yeah.
But
you
want a
can't do
toy,
that.
I'm totally fine with
No,
that.
100%.
But
You
then
cannot do that.
if it gets too, but then I say, if you are into kinky things or you have questions further than what I'm willing to share, please call Kelsey.
Yeah, Kelsey in Los Angeles,
Yes.
the crazy one, will help you. There's no fucking reason why you should help your bebe as a teenager buy their
No.
first toy.
Okay,
Whatever
I'm
sex
saying
they are.
If they're into, I
will give
buy
them that
one.
talk.
Yeah, but it's also like, don't feel embarrassed.
No shame.
Like, I'm probably gonna find it because I'm your fucking parent, and
Right.
like I don't care.
The funny story you just brought up with sex toys always reminds me of the day you got engaged, which I was very involved in. I helped plan and surprise and execute.
Yeah.
And the husband here asked for me to help him hide the ring from you.
Yeah, because I'm sneaky as shit.
Yeah, this is when we were all living together, when he moved in with us. And I hid it in my sex toy drawer because I was like, what in the world would Lacey ever be in here for? Well, little did I know, the day of the actual engagement,
I needed lube.
Lacey was looking for lube.
I know where to find it.
And motherfucking bitch goes straight to my sex toy drawer, which she's never done in a million fucking years.
And then my husband comes up behind me, and I'm like,
Why are you
following me?
And he's just like, what are you doing in here anyway? And she did not see it, but the fact that you even got that close.
My mind was focused on something else.
And the fact that I had other boxes in there and it was kind of like blended in.
Yeah. Didn't even say.
That was a beautiful time. Yeah, I feel like I've just been involved in so many milestones of your life. Did it stop recording on the video? Why?
I don't know.
Hold on. Let me check where it stopped.
I don't know.
This seems like the perfect time for a quick break so that I can talk to you guys about what we have coming up in the world. Oh gosh, it's New Year's, New Year, 2021. We are completely tossing away 2020. Although I will say I was able to use that time in 2020 for a lot of self-reflection, a lot of self-growth with the one, the only, y'all call me Don Sarn, you know what I'm talking about, with BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online, totally convenient, licensed therapist chat video phone app that I've got on my phone. I've got it on my computer, and I have been using it for quite some time now. They are my favorite partner. I have no problem saying that because I do my weekly therapy with BetterHelp. And the best part is I want y'all to be living your happiest lives. Can't y'all tell I'm living my happiest life? I feel the best I've ever felt. I have my weekly couples counseling, got my weekly individual therapy, and you are going to get matched with a professional counselor, which you can send a message to literally at any time, middle of the night, 3 a.m., noon, lunch, right before dinner. The service is available for clients worldwide, and you can schedule weekly video, phone, or chat sessions with your own therapist. They are licensed professionals who deal with all sorts of things, help you managing depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma, anger, family conflicts, LGBT issues, grief, and self-esteem. It's the new year. Come on, let's feel better. Let's feel better. Help. Remember, anything you shell out and share on BetterHelp is convenient, professional, and affordable. Okay? And I want you to start living a happier life today. And as a listener, you're going to get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/CI. Join over 1 million of us that are taking charge of our mental health this year. Again, that is betterhelp, HELP.com/CI. Minor glitch in the system. I think we were talking about dildos, so we're back. We probably put an ad right there because I had to manage storage on my phone, which is crazy because I've had that phone forever, and this is the first time I've ever done it.
It's ghosts.
So what do you think will change the most about your life that you're excited about and terrified for?
Excited about is that I think it forces me to reorient my life inward to important things. Not saying that work is not important.
But something other than work.
Something other than work, because
that's life.
That's literally been my life is work. So that's cool. I'm very excited about that. And you have to slow down a little bit. which is cool.
Which is cool.
Not excited for?
Yeah. Or maybe scared of. Or like
Scared
fearful or nervous or cautious.
Yeah. I mean, I think I mentioned this before, but it's like I'm a little afraid about losing me.
Yes.
Losing
me time.
Yeah. And time with my husband, you know?
Aww.
It's like, meaning like we can't, like, I think we're spontaneous people and we decide last minute that we want to do something.
Yeah, you bought this house.
I don't know if you can
whim.
fucking do that when you have a kid anymore. It's not that like, let's just go out to dinner tonight because I don't feel like cooking. It's like,
you just have this extra like flop of skin with you.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
You know, it was funny because we were talking a lot about travel yesterday and I was like, but how's my life going to change with this? And like the first thing I thought of is like, we won't get to travel anymore. And I was like, we don't really travel together in the first place. Like we've tried to do yearly trips, like friendship trips, and we definitely go back and forth from New York because like I go to New York for work. You'll come to LA for work. Like your husband comes to LA for work. And like we've definitely made it a priority to see each other. And I think nothing is really going to change with our friendship. Like I'm sober now, so it's not like I feel like I'm losing like a party buddy.
Right.
In fact, you drink more than I do now.
100%.
And I feel like I'm just so excited to have this like extra spice in my life when I think of you now. I'm like, not only do I get Lacey, but I get Bebe and I get like Lacey Bebe version because you're still you. Like you're not going to change. And I think I look at bitches who I know who have gotten pregnant and become like that lady, that mom, and it like transforms them. And I'm like, ugh, that's their prerogative. I'm an asshole for feeling that. But I feel like you're not going to change in a way that's like fundamental about your soul.
I hope not, but also I don't know, maybe my mindset will change and you are allowed to decide what you want to be whenever you want to be it, even if you say, you know what, I really don't want that. That's not the way I want my life to be. And then, I don't know, 2 years later, that is exactly what you want your life to be.
We've talked about that.
You can do that.
We've been like 3 years ago, if you would have told us that this is both where we're going to be, even 3 years ago, we'd be like, wait, what?
And I would be like, oh my God, would I be happy?
And
I
get this.
I'd be happy.
I get this question all the time when I like go do other people's podcasts. I forget that I'm old. I'm 30. So to like the young 20s who like ask me on their podcast, I forget that I'm looked at as maybe like a little bit accomplished or wiser, and I don't feel that way. But the question I always get is like, you know, how do I become this confident, successful, blah, 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 blah. And my answer is always the same. It's like,
I'm still not
change
that confident and
your
successful.
mind. Change your mind. Change is my answer. Like, do different things. Be a different person.
Also,
make different
your
decisions.
20s are really, really,
Fluid.
really hard.
I would never do it again.
Really hard.
Mm-mm.
And like oh my God, I didn't know who I was.
Mm-mm.
There were so many moments that I was like, am I making the worst decision of my goddamn motherfucking life? And like everyone's growing at different paces.
Yeah.
So the people that you were super close with at 1 year of your life, maybe you don't connect with them again, but then maybe 2 years later, you guys are in the same place again. And that doesn't mean that you can't be friends. That doesn't mean that, you know, it's really, really hard. So care for yourself.
Yeah, and fucking
and give yourself a
try
motherfucking
things.
break.
Yeah, like don't feel like you're ever stuck. And that's not just for your 20s. That's for your fucking life. Like you can change at any point in time. You are never, ever, ever stuck.
Oh, the way that Kelsey and I like really knew each other was going to acting school together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The day that I really decided I don't want to do this anymore
freedom
was the hardest and best day of my life.
We talked about that
and it
so
wasn't
much.
like a quick change.
No.
It was like a year of being like, this, okay, I'm kind of, but I'm still, and you know, I grew up with, and it was coming to terms with, did I decide this was my dream or did everybody else?
Well, it shaped
And was
you.
it a combination? But it's like,
I think it was combo.
it's okay to say, I don't like this.
I don't want to do this thing that I thought was my dream anymore.
It's okay.
It's really hard.
And it's not giving up on your dream.
No, and
your
you can
dream is
try
just
again
something
later.
else. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like
like
it's fine.
we're okay, guys. And
Oh my
we
God.
have fucking changed and grown.
I got into it with this guy once. We were going to see a show. We were going to see Puffs.
Oh, love.
So good. We
Go
were going to see
fucking Puffs when the
in
world
New York
opens
City,
back up.
And we were sitting at the bar getting ready to go in, and we made friends because my husband and I always make friends with people. And it was this husband and wife, and we started chatting, and they were like, oh, like my daughter goes to X musical theater school. And I was like, oh, I went to musical theater school. I went to Emerson. Oh, that's so nice, blah, blah, blah. What do you do now? And I was like, I run a company. This was a couple of years ago. I was like, I run my own company.
That has nothing to do with...
like, doing what? And I was like, I teach children music.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, so you're not using your degree.
What?
So I go,
oh, bitch.
What was your degree in school? He said, history. I said, what the fuck are you doing now? And he said, I run a bookstore. I was like, oh, so I guess you're not using your degree.
Degrees are
and
dumb.
He was like,
don't go to college.
Well, no, because it's books. And I was like, well, no, because it's fucking music. Like, it's like, who
don't go to college.
Fucking cares? And then I dropped out of college. So
yeah, I dropped out 3 times. We both have dropped out. But like, I
don't
remember
tell people not to go to college. Go to college.
Don't go to college. You guys
or
know.
don't go to college.
I say
Do
all the
whatever
time.
the fuck
It's
you
a fucking scam. But I remember that decision in your life because you also, when we lived together in Los Angeles, you also made a very big decision to move back to New York City, which is the city you grew up in. And I remember feeling like what I didn't feel like was that like you were giving up and abandoning the crew and the gang and the life and like moving back to your comfort. I never felt that way because like you said, it was a slow transition and like we both saw what became important and how hard, and not hard necessarily, but how much luck you have to be a straight up actor. And I kind of wiggled my way into this weird like subcategory of entertainment. So, you know, I have to be in LA. But I remember you breaking the news, and I was just more sad that like we weren't going to get to be together all the time. I remember being like, ugh, my long distance best friend, that sucks. That really sucks because then I was alone. And I didn't have a very good best friend with me. But then, you know, I met people that I dated who became my partner and best friend. And like, you know, now I have Jared. But if you ask who's my best friend, Jared will tell you he knows it's Lacey. Like, I think it's like it all worked out the way the way it was supposed to.
Yes. And I think we are such good friends because we allowed each other to fail. And we allowed each other to grow. And there was never judgment.
Amen. And you guys know, if you've listened to my episode of that I was in an abusive relationship, Lacey sent in a voice memo to talk about like how she felt. Yeah. And I talked about also being like, that was probably our biggest break and fight, but there was no argument.
But I said to you, I was like, I love you. And I hope you figure this out. And I'm here for you. But I also need to protect myself.
Yeah. And that's when I was kind of like...
And I wasn't mad at you.
No. You were like afraid for me.
Yes.
And I think you knew I was better and smarter and like you had to recognize I was in this trap.
And you were making decisions that you needed to make at the time.
You can lead a horse to water.
I could not talk you out of anything. I could not give you advice. I mean, I could,
but I
did,
listen.
But she wasn't listening, and
I was trapped. Yeah,
but I think that made you a stronger person,
and it made me recognize.
You knew how I felt. Yeah, it's not like I was hiding how I felt.
Oh
about
God,
anything.
no! You can't hide an emotion to save your fucking life.
No,
but I think coming out of that, it made me appreciate the relationship, the friendship more because I did have friends in my life when I've gone through very hard times, and I'm still very bitter about some of this, is I had girlfriends cut off ties me. Yeah.
Either enablers or straight cut off ties.
And abandon me. Yeah. And like you always did it the balanced right way. And I think that made me go, like when I came out of it, I was like, this is a motherfucking ride or die. Like,
do you know who
that
taught
was
me
the
that?
worst. Who?
My mom.
Aww.
Because I remember my friend of mine was dating a guy I didn't like in high school. And I thought he was bad for her. And I was angry at her. And my mom said, that's your friend.
Mm-hmm.
They can date whoever they want.
Yikes.
And you don't get a fucking say.
You don't get an opinion.
And it's like, and she was like, do you want to be friends with this person? I said, yes. And she was like,
you gotta
then
wait it
be
out.
a friend.
Stick it out.
Yes. Be a fucking friend.
Well,
and that was such a I was like, oh, I can't control my friends' lives.
And I think there is a point like where, it got so bad with mine that you had to make a decision to leave the living situation we were in because it was not safe for you. And like, I completely respected that. And not until, of course, I got out of it. At the time, I was like, oh, she's just being dramatic. But again, that was all learning and growing things that I had to get out of. And so like, when I think of our friendship, like length and time, that's the only like crease and blip, and not like in a bad way. And they always say like, if you're friends with people for 10 years, you're friends with them for life. And I think we've been friends. 2020 was we met in 2009. So we passed it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was the fall of 2009.
Good for us.
Cheers.
And now we on to the next chapter, bitch. Do you think
so
I'll ever have a kid?
It's so interesting to like.
I'm like, throw away compliments.
It's so fun to see where you've gone.
Oh man.
And
now being sober, isn't it weird?
It's weird, but it's not, because it's
not.
like
I didn't change.
Like, to me, I'm like, that wasn't your identity to me.
Oh God.
Like, I think it was maybe your identity to other people, but not to me.
Not
it's
to
like,
you.
okay, it was fun to drink with you, but like, I don't care.
Right. Right.
And I think I mean, this is me projecting. I have no idea if you felt this way, but I remember when you first told me, and then we were going to France.
Oh God.
And I felt like you thought
you were gonna care.
I was gonna care,
and that
I
you were
was
gonna
like,
be
I
uncomfortable.
don't care. And what I said to you was like, if it makes you uncomfortable, if I drink,
stop.
I don't care.
But I was like, no, drink.
So
and
it was
fine.
fine. I had like a glass of wine at dinner.
Some champagne.
Then I got drunk one night because we were on a yacht.
Yeah,
and it was
that
fun.
happened.
But I wouldn't have gotten drunk like if it was just you and I, which I didn't.
And here's
like,
the thing:
'cause I don't care.
Is that was 2 months into me deciding to get sober, and like that could have gone very bad if you weren't a good friend. You know what I mean? Like if you weren't who you were, that trip would have gone completely fucking different. And what fun was that trip?
It was so fun.
I have pictures of us with like chocolate crepes and like walking down the streets of fucking.
It was the best.
It was the Brazil. Why was I Brazil? It wasn't Brazil.
I felt bad.
No.
When you told I felt bad when you told me, and I felt like you were worried that I was gonna care, and I was like, oh my God, no.
I had to get used to it. I had to get used to it. And like, I think this is the first time you've seen me now, because I was sober then, but I wasn't like changed. I think this is the first time you've seen me sober, and like, I feel very changed.
Oh, even like, I love that my husband was like, I wish I lived around sober Kelsey.
Poor husband.
She's up at 9 a.m. making us furniture.
7 a.m. and it was a couch and breakfast.
He was like, what the hell?
You got the shit end of the stick. But I think like that's like, this is just the beginning. Like now you guys having a baby, and I'm the healthiest I've ever felt. Like I feel like we're all good and okay, and I feel so happy, and I feel so much fucking joy in my body, my boy. That's exactly what it is. I have true joy in my bones for us.
Yeah.
I think I was like naive in that I was like, everything is gonna work out like 5 years ago. Truly now, I feel so happy for every single person in this cabin.
Yeah.
That's a good note to end on.
Yeah.
I get like, we'll obviously keep everyone updated. What?
I figured out what the phrase was.
What?
Return on bad luck.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm going back. The ADD brain. When I was talking about that, it's like you get something good out of something bad. It's called return on bad luck.
I don't even remember this part that you're talking about. That's
she
how
doesn't
that
listen
ADD
to me
is.
sometimes. It's
no,
fine.
Yeah, we talk over each other a lot, as you can tell in this episode. We'll keep the confidants updated. I can't wait to share the sex. I'm so fucking excited. Not that it matters, but like,
and you guys, honestly, you guys are the best.
We're the best.
No. Not. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your confidants.
Oh. I agree though. The confidants are the
really
best.
Are. You really, truly are.
Audience ever. So caring, so giving, so thoughtful, so
nice,
so introspective.
I know.
So
you really are.
I feel very lucky.
I would let you babysit my kid.
Fucking goddamn about
If you're
time.
in New York and you
won't send it to LA. Come on.
I mean,
come on.
Okay,
we got it on
we'll
tape.
touch that
at
when we-
least the first layer.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you, baby.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me always touch your tummy. I think it's so cool. Your knockers are huge. Thrilled
They
for
really,
you.
really are.
Love your partner. Love your cabin. Love your life. Thrilled for our friendship. Rate this 5 stars on iTunes. Tell
Please.
them. Oh, tell them to buy my book. It's out now.
Oh my God. You got to buy Kelsey's book. It's out now. It's on pre-order. It's going to come.
You're in it a lot, by the way.
Jesus. I haven't read any of it, so
No.
maybe don't buy the book. I have no idea.
But I reached out to you. Like pieces of
yes,
information you
yes.
gave me. There's like text messages in there from you. There's a lot about you. I was going to like stick your card in like the part that you're in, but I was like, you're in 75 parts. You're just going to have to read the whole thing.
I was going to read the whole thing anyway.
Good answer. Here's your $20.
Thank you.
Confidants, I hope you have an incredible holiday. I'm
Yes.
not sure if we're going to have an episode next week, just depending on like service. And I think it's the holidays.
Also-
Everyone deserves a break.
Kelsey
Give me a
deserves a
fucking
break.
break.
I deserve a break.
Yeah, she
So-
does nothing for the podcast, but she deserves a break.
So it's not going to happen. next
Plus,
week.
we're not really doing a break. We're working on our super secret business.
That's right.
That the confidants will definitely be the first to hear about. So you're going to be getting some like requests from us to be like, hey, try this thing, do this thing. Will you check out this website? Blah, 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 blah. And I promise you'll like it. Okay. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. We'll maybe see you next week or see you next year.
Yay.
Bye.
Dun, 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 dun.